LeBron James got critical help from his supporting cast in the Cavs' Game 1 victory as he had what he called one of his worst games of the season. And yeah, he had a triple-double. It's a good worst game. Kyle Lowry had a double-double that was for naught. He's not thinking about how Cleveland has dominated them the last 2 seasons. He says, that's the past. We're a different team. NBA Countdown starts now.
Welcome to NBA Countdown, presented by Mountain Dew Kickstart.
Welcome inside Studio One here in the Heineken Seaport District in New York with Paul Pierce, Jalen Rose, Chauncey Billups in the building. Michelle Beadle. A pair of Eastern Conference Game 2s are on deck in the league tonight. We'll get you set for the first one between Cleveland and Toronto, where the Raptors will try to tie the series before they head back to Cleveland. This, of course, after the gut-wrenching 1-point loss on Tuesday. A loss tonight could be the kiss of death since Toronto is 0-6 all-time in series when they trail 2-0. We know about the flagrant now. It felt very hurtful, this loss. Is it too soon to lose confidence, however, in this team?
Not at all too soon. I've lost confidence in them. When LeBron James...
Oh, really?
No, listen, though. When LeBron James said he played...
2 or 3 days make.
When he says he played his worst game of the playoffs and you still win, what do you expect is going to happen next? LeBron James is a great player. He's going to smell the blood. He's like, look, if we could take them out in Game 2 in Toronto, then it's over. You know, I had a change of heart. I have a change of heart after watching that Indiana series and him gutting it out like the way he did and pulling out. Hey Paul, my history with Toronto and not having no confidence in them.
Wow.
It's hard. Listen, this is hard for me. This is hard for me. Toronto or Cleveland.
I know.
But I got to go with the best player in the series.
I'm proud of you, man. I am proud. You know what? If you just sit back and let me give you some games, you wouldn't even have to do all this recanting and all of that. I'll say this. I haven't lost confidence yet because it could still be a series. They win tonight. Cleveland haven't been a phenomenal home team. You can go in there, maybe steal one. And like Kyle Lowry said, they're a different team this year, but they got to prove it to us still. You know, they gave up a big game, and they could have easily won that game, but still not had the momentum. If they say that tip in from Demar went in, Cleveland still, they should have got beat by 25 in this game. You just played 2 days ago in a Game 7, played your heart out to beat the Pacers. You should be dead tired. Going into a tough building in Toronto, you should have got beat by 25. So even if they would have lost that game at the buzzer, you still leave with confidence.
They're not mentally tough. They're not as mentally tough as Cleveland, who's been down that path. So,
this sounds like somebody that's been on the floor with that team during this period of time when they haven't met expectations, who I think this question was for, because the two gentlemen on this end of the table always felt like the Cavs would win this series. I appreciate that you updated your prognostication, Mr. Pierce.
I'm surprised. I am.
With that being said, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, this is all about them. They've been perennial all-stars. They're the leaders of the team. It starts and ends with their productivity. I know their bench has been great. I know they're playing at home. But this game is about them. I want to see aggression. I want to see fury. I want to see productivity. And they are going to lead the Raptors if they're going to win, because we all know what happens if they get down 0-2.
Fury, that's a big call. That's interesting. One aspect of this series that may actually boost confidence for Toronto is what you mentioned, Chauncey. The Cavs didn't get any extra time off from a 7-game series until LeBron spoke about fighting off fatigue.
It's kind of weird. We're the only series that does not get 2 days in between games. That's kind of weird. But that's why I'm going to get as efficient with my energy as possible in between days. So I was able to get a lot of rest yesterday and look forward to the challenge tonight.
Jalen, are you worried at all that will come into play?
I'm worried that there's 20,000 shirts in there and he can find one to put on. Man. All right.
You're so stupid.
I'm not worried about LeBron James and his endurance because his role players contributed. Tristan Thompson played well the last 2 games. Kyle Korver's making shots. JR is making shots. Jeff Green is making shots. I think their role players are now confident and they have what it takes to supplement LeBron James so that he doesn't have to have such high usage like he did against Indiana.
Yeah, and I think the reason why their role players are feeling free, making shots, playing basketball, the pressure's different. And when I say pressure, not the pressure of the series, the personal defensive pressure that the Pacers put on them, the Raptors don't have those kind of grinders and those kind of players to put the kind of pressure to make these guys uptight and make them miss shots.
So you saying Demar and Kyrie is not any kind of pressure to them?
Demar and who?
Kyle Lowry.
No, they don't put pressure on guards like Victor Oladipo, like Collison. No way, not even defensively, no way.
Wow.
Why, do you disagree?
Well, I think they put pressure on the offensive end. I mean.
Oh, well, see, that's different.
Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about?
We're talking about defensive pressure.
They swarmed. That was the word with
the Pacers. They made it really hard on them, and you know that.
They did.
The Raptors don't play that way. They just don't, which makes JR comfortable and Korver, who had a good series, comfortable.
Right.
Jeff Green, comfortable. That's why this series, if they're not careful, the Raptors, this would be an easy series.
I would assume every series you're trying to get out of as quickly as possible. For the Cavs particularly, I would imagine this is in play because they do need the rest moving forward.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Bron's know the deal. He's the marquee. If they didn't go to 7 in the previous series, it's going to be set up so all of his games could be on national TV. That's just how it works. But for the Cavs, I think that they now get a chance to play free in game 2. You talked about how they escaped in game 1. Toronto missed so many shots late, as you mentioned. Now they can come out free. If they can get the lead early, they can make this crowd real antsy.
Maybe that'll help Kevin Love. Where's he been at?
Wait,
no.
He had that elbow
Goodness.
end of the game. You know what? Talking about crowds, let's head up north because they do not lack in fandom. Jurassic Park outside Air Canada Centre in Toronto. It may truly be a must-win for this team to lose games 1 and 2 at home in a best-of-7, have an all-time series record of 4-22. That's not good, and that's where we find Israel Gutierrez reporting from the game. What's up, Izzy?
Hey, Beetle. Nothing much here, just, a tense game 2 in Toronto. And so you're going to see some minor adjustments from Dwayne Casey. Offensively, you're going to see maybe a minutes change up, maybe bring in Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan a little earlier back into the game than they're used to, in large part because they know LeBron James is going to play heavy minutes and they need their guys in there, their main scorers. And as those main scorers go, so does Toronto sometimes. And so when Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan have the ball in their movement offense, which of course they're going to stick to, Dwayne Casey says they just need better spacing for those guys. Get them better screens. Put your bodies in particular places where they can have better spacing and be able to operate. And also when Valanciunas is in there, make sure he continues to dominate. Dwayne Casey said if he's not dominating, he's coming out of the game. He did have his moments in that first game. As for the defensive end, there's where you'll see some more switches there. DeMar DeRozan's going to be on George Hill in this game, Dwayne Casey says, and Kyle Lowry's going to chase Kyle Korver around. I think really when you look at the defense on LeBron James, you're just going to see them have to sort of pick their poison and make him a scorer. They're talking about not overhelping, not doubling, not necessarily blitzing him. Dwayne Casey said it's tough when a teammate is watching another teammate go one-on-one against LeBron, but if he has to score 50, that's the way you're going to have to go to win, so Kyle Korver doesn't get 17 shots, so J.R. Smith doesn't beat you from the outside. And so he also said, lastly, Tristan Thompson can't come in and change the game. They really have to monitor him. They have to make sure they match his energy. And if all those things happen, maybe Toronto comes out of here with a Game 2 win. Michelle?
Thanks, Izzy. That was a heck of a list. DeMar DeRozan has one of the best mid-range games in the league, and maybe the best part is the pump fake. Brian Windhorst reporting the Cavs players will be fined $100 each time they bite on that move.
I thought he was going to say if they had the Vince Carter in his prime.
And the underdog Jazz came to play last night in Game 2 against the Rockets. The reason for that win?